We're gonna make two masa madre, two sourdough dough. And so let's begin. We'll begin with 100 milligrams of sourdough starter. I make the starter always. It's continuing and keep it in the refrigerator at times. So this is just out of the refrigerator, so it's cold. And it's the live bacteria portion of the bread that helps to create the fermentation. And normally what I do is I create two different versions at least, and I combine them together. That way I'm gonna have a broader success, if you will. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this going here. And here's the other one. You don't need a lot. You could use very little, but you can also use more if you want it to go faster. So here, we'll go ahead and put this right here. So, and whenever you're done using the starter, you can go ahead and make more starter. And you simply do that by adding flour and water. So here we go. And now we'll go ahead and add the water, which is 500 milliliters. Yeah, 500 milliliters. And I'm going to add 1,000 milliliters of flour approximately. So here we go. I'm going to add 15 grams of salt per loaf. And so I'm using this electric scale. Okay, so here we go. It helps to add everything at once. Here's the flour. I'll make it together now. I'm using a standard flour. You can use very high quality, high protein bread flour. You can use a variety of different kinds of flours. That's what would be best, is combined flours. So I have some spelt flour. So I'm going to combine about 80 milligrams of spelt, which is like a integral, very rich flour. I'd like to have some rye, but I can't seem to find it. So here we go. Adding in, so it's about 1,000 milliliters, or whatever that means. And so we have everything ready to go. We're going to let this mix together. It's better to go slower than faster. Mixers aren't very helpful actually, because they destroy the structure that we're trying to build. So we'll go ahead and let that get started. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and recreate these two starters. And what I do is simply add equal part flour and water. That's in excess of what I already have. So you can call it a 1-1-1 ratio, but I prefer to consider it more like 1-2-2, meaning 1 part original starter, 2 parts additional flour and water. But any way works, 1-1-1, 1-5-5, anywhere. The more flour and that you add, it's going to help because it has more to eat. So who knows? You can experiment with 1-1-1, 1-2-2, 1-5-5, whatever you want to do, and try it out and see the difference. It depends on really how much time you have or what the cycle of your timing is. This looks good to me. This is a mix. It's not like a soup. This is a little more soupy right now. So I'm going to add a little bit of flour. Generally, I use simple flour in the starter. I don't add a lot of complex integral flour, but you can. So there we go. Okay, so this is all ready to go. Oh, needs just a little more water. Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, we're getting ready to watch the 49er game. We're making some starters. We're making some sourdough masa madre that we will have to be able to bake tomorrow if we want to. It could go tomorrow. It could go the next day. But I'd like to make some small loaves, very small. Call them mini loaves, if you will. So this is looking a little bit wet, but I think it's good to start off wet. It's better to get a good mix, and then we can add more flour. Okay, so that's my secret is start off a little bit more wet, and then you could add more flour. So here we go. You can see it's looking a little bit soupy, and then we just add more flour. But I'm going to try to get it. The idea is to mix everything very nicely, completely. This is actually looking almost like it's perfect. And again, we're not trying to overmix. There's not like 100, we're not trying to overdo it. It's actually a very small amount of time. It's like literally about a minute of effort. So that looks not very far off. This looks a little bit soupy. So we'll add in a little more flour over here. Add a little more flour, a teeny bit of flour. And this is a good way to work, is just to try to work towards something that looks like it's not soup and it's not hard. So yeah, there we go. So we're getting there. Just showing you the... Okay. So this is not far off from what we want, right? Looking very good. And this is not far off from what we want. Looks actually perfect, right? Again, I'm gonna come back every 15 minutes and give it a couple turns, or every 30 minutes, 4 times overall over the couple hours. And that's the way that we make the dough to make the bread. And we're gonna let it rise over about 6 hours approximately. It could be 8 hours. It depends on the environment, the heat, the temperature. You could go shorter or longer. It depends on the amount of moisture, the kind of flour, the heat. You're looking for a rise. You're looking for activity, bubbles, and that's what we're looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it right now. I'm gonna cover it, and we're gonna go watch the football game.